Plaintiff Eileen Sullivan says the defendant had always been a guy who could get the goods, until now. At the start of the pandemic, she loaned the defendant money to invest in PPE, but he never gave it back. She is suing for $3,400. Defendant Michael Paquin says the money was an investment and she knew there was a risk. Hasn't she heard there's a worldwide supply chain problem? He owes nothing.
Eileen, you are suing your friend Michael.
I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting for the return of the loan that I gave the defendant over a year ago in the amount of $3,500. I've been waiting very patiently to get my money back, and I haven't seen it. I think he may have paid me back $100.
Okay.
It's been a year. I think I've been very patient, and I'm here for my money. I'm here for all of my money, and I want it today.
I take a note with her $100 payback. I think I paid you somewhere like $400 or $500 between payments and I got the one money order I got a copy of here.
What happened? What's the
Well,
story?
I've known the defendant. We've been friends for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I know him as a businessman.
Yep.
I know him as somebody who can get supplies, and I've ordered supplies from him actually in the past.
What kind of supplies?
PPE supplies,
Oh, okay.
typically. But he was the go-to guy. If you need something, Mike buys and sells various items.
Okay.
So here we are, fast to the throes of the pandemic. I purchased some hand sanitizer, some masks, some gloves from him previously. Never had a problem. He always came through, never an issue. Fast forward to May of 2020, and now we're in the throes of a pandemic, and now alcohol is on everybody's go-to list.
Right.
Alcohol, rubbing alcohol, is in very short supply.
Yeah, the other kind of alcohol
Yeah,
too. But,
right.
but the rubbing alcohol, right.
Right.
for-
Everybody
for
wants to
sanitation.
sanitize. Everybody
Yeah.
wants the cleansing. It's in short supply and it's very overpriced. So once again, I contact Mike to see if this is an item that he can procure. He gets back to his people, gets back to me, and says that yes, he can in fact get me a very large supply of this item. However, his people are now requiring money up front.
And the idea would be to get a large supply of the rubbing alcohol that you could then resell, not for your personal use.
That's correct.
But to resell
That's
at
correct.
a profit. Got
So he approached me with an idea that if I could come up with a loan of $3,500
Yep.
to get a large supply of this item, sounded like a win-win to me. Not only would I get my money back, not only would I be repaid, but I could get interest and I could possibly make some sort of a profit. Sounds good to me. I lent him the money over a year ago, and I am still waiting for my money.
I don't know if this was a case of investments going bad and some kind of unrequited love thing or something.
You
because
wish.
Well, that's the feeling I got from some of the comments you made before you got like salty
In your
and talking
dreams,
about
Mike,
silk.
in your dreams. That is not happening.
My nightmares.
Never happened, never will.
My nightmares. This was, first of all, an investment, and with investment comes risk. And the plaintiff understood that, and I understood that. We felt that we could get this, turn it, make a little bit of money, and help people out. And that was the whole goal.
That was
sort of the whole goal, was to be able to, in a time when things were tight, make a little bit of money and also take advantage of the fact that other people were taking advantage of folks. So when I'm seeing reports on the news about $1 store bottles of alcohol that are 50% alcohol selling for $20 on the street, and I can buy 95% alcohol and sell it for $5 a bottle, it sounded like a great thing. Unfortunately, with supply chains and everything that was going on, you had to pre-order, you had to wait 30 to 60 days, you had to come up with a pretty sizable order up front, and because Eileen was one of the people that was asking about alcohol and this conversation came up, that I did not have the investment. It was about $7,000 for 2 pallets of alcohol.
Yeah.
I was able to scrape about half of that together and debating whether to keep trying to figure out a way to make this deal happen. When Eileen had asked me for the third time about alcohol, I said, look, do you know anybody that has this $3,500 that I need? And that sort of is where the idea was hatched to invest together in this alcohol.
You said to her that whatever profit we make, you get 50% of it?
No, it was a case of the first monies that came in would reimburse her completely for her investment because she was taking a real chance on this.
Yeah, and then what?
The second monies that came in after that would reimburse me for my investment. The third thing that would happen is she would make some profit. I guesstimated that she could make about $1,000, maybe a little more, depending on how it sold and depending how quickly it went. But I did expect it to be pretty quick the way things were going.
How much did you wind up making?
Well, unfortunately, everybody got their alcohol at the same time. The supply chain thing happened where they delayed our order by months because they did not have enough bottles, then they did not have enough squirt closures, then they did not have trucking and material. It just was crazy. So it wound up going, I think, close to 6 months. So she acts like I've had her money all this time. Well, first of all, I don't have her money. We split this investment. My money is tied up as well. I'm paying for storage unit for this material.
You have the alcohol now being stored someplace.
Yeah.
It was finally delivered.
It's being stored at a couple $100 a month.
Did you sell any of it?
A little bit, but no one expected it to go this way. Anyway, I have evidence of why it was delayed, that it was not my fault, that there was nothing I could have done based on what was going on.
How many bottles are in storage?
Well, we originally got close to 2,400 bottles, and we've only sold not even 10%. So about 2,000, 2,200 bottles sitting in storage at over $200 a month. The occasions where I sell a little bit because people are still buying it, it's good 95% alcohol. So a little bit comes in, I pay for storage and catch up storage, which is behind again right now.
If you're losing money on the storage, you ought to get rid of the alcohol, either sell it at a ridiculously low price, but you're losing money by storing it.
Well, that's the only option, is to sell it at the ridiculously low price, because if you go in a store
Then
now...
why aren't you? You could probably sell it on eBay.
Well, I've made overtures to people, but there's so much sanitizer and alcohol right now. The stores have it out for 25 cents a bottle when it was $15 last year. You know, we can't sit on it forever, but a couple more months waiting for the market to maybe change.
So you're holding on to it, you're paying the storage because you think at some point the market
investments
may turn around.
Have risk, and the risk that
It
I'm
wasn't
taking.
an investment, Mike. Is that really, that's how you're treating this? You're delusional.
Okay.
I've told you all along.
In her evidence, I have here a picture of the check that she wrote to you for $3,500.
I have a copy of it, Your Honor.
You can go get it and give it to me.
I'm not disputing that she paid the money.
Yes,
Okay, but what it says on it, PPE alcohol loan, $3,500 to you, and in the memo, PPE alcohol loan. That's not an investment,
I haven't
Mike.
seen that
That's
Well, can I see
I
that,
guess not,
please?
because
Yeah,
it's
since-
been over a year.
Okay, it
Yeah,
says
I don't know
loan.
what was written on that or when it was written.
No, that's a carbon copy of
Clearly.
when it was written with the date.
Clearly.
It was
I
a
don't
And
know.
I'm
loan.
Look,
sorry,
look,
Your
this
Honor,
is
I'm
all-
sorry that he fell on hard times, but really, you borrow money from somebody, it's incumbent upon you to pay them back first.
Right.
It
Well,
was
if I
paid-
borrowed it and look,
It's
this is all in
stated-
cursive.
it's-
This is all in cursive, and then the PPE is in regular standard writing. I wonder if that was
No.
written in later.
No, don't.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's see, it
please.
seems
Now-
kind of
Just-
funny.
Yeah, that's
No.
just like we've been dating too, Mike. Is that right?
Stop bringing up your real desire while we're here. He cannot make me date you.
Please.
She's saying that she loaned you $3,500, $100 of which was paid back. If you have evidence that you paid more than $100 back, I'm willing to look at
I
that.
don't. I had a phone that crashed. I was keeping dates. I'm not
Okay.
debating that she didn't get all her money.
But she is.
It was cash. It was $100 cash.
The evidence before the court is that she loaned you $3,500. Very clearly, she loaned you the money, and I find for the plaintiff in the sum of $3,400.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I didn't profit off of the pandemic at all. The way I worked before we got the alcohol that went backfired on us was everything was sold at a very small markup to cover expenses and a little bit of profit and to get people stuff. I started out with toilet paper. When people in my area couldn't find toilet paper, they were paying $3 and $4 for a roll. We were selling rolls of toilet paper for 60 cents and making 20 cents before expenses.
We're not dating. Never dated. Don't have a crush. I don't know where that came from. In his dreams.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.